The digital world, particularly AI, is now upon us.
True.
And the definition of working age has changed.
True.
So, maski na 70 ka ngayon, makakapagtrabaho ka pa.
Ang nagiging difficulty minsan, no? So siguro kailangan we have to pay more attention also to improving also the skills of our elderly. There should be a need for better database systems, because if nagkakaroon ng emergency like now, the government has declared an energy emergency. So all the more reason that we must be able to reach out to those people who are in need of most assistance. And the elderly who are living alone particularly, we need to find them, no? We need to know where they are, so immediately help them because they're the most vulnerable.
Yung responsibilidad ng gobyerno, pag-isipan niyang mabuti at saan niya itututok yung kakaunti na lang
Correct.
na pwedeng gamitin para makatulong sa
Correct.
taong bayan.
Hi, this is Senior Moments with Louis Montalvo. We are right now in the Philippine Institute for Development Studies here in Quezon City. And we have as our guest, and the topic we'll discuss right now, many of our episodes, we do profiles of senior citizens, but I think when our co-host, Sek Butch Abad, brought this to our attention, the paper of Toots, we thought this might be a good topic to dive into for our podcast, because it really concerns the elderly and senior citizens. So this is the topic we'll be discussing right now. So right now we want to welcome Butch and Toots. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Louie.
Good morning.
Sige, ano muna, Toots? There are 5 of you in the research team, correct?
Yeah.
What inspired you, or what drove you to do this particular research? Doon muna tayo.
Yeah, well, the Asian Development Bank staff asked me to help out in this study, partly because they have had concerns that across Asia, we're already heading towards aging. And the question is there healthy aging happening? So in the case of the Philippines, we note that the elderly seem to be not as poor as the average person. So we wanted to discover what's the reason behind it. So, and that's why we started looking into this, so to be able to unpack whether there might be some things that we are not seeing directly from the aggregate statistics on the elderly.
What is the problem really that you're looking at, and how urgent it is?
It's like this, like Butch. As far as the elderly is concerned, because if the Philippines is becoming more and more, we're having an increased share of elderly. The question is, because when you become an elderly person, naturally you don't have income anymore. You get retired, and when you have will you have enough resources to be able to weather the storm? Because as you age, naturally you'll get more problems with health. There might be certain things that might be changing. For instance, ICT. Even now, that ICT is supposed to be better off. It's supposed to be a right now to access ICT tools. Are elderly persons also accessing technology? Are they more mobile? So there might be certain things that need to be explained. And then, in addition, we'd also like to look at the assets of the elderly, because assets are supposed to be a good way for you to be able to, again, weather the storm of, in case there might be some problems with prices, like now that we have a crisis happening because of fuel costs globally. So can the elderly manage risks? And so that's why we went into this.
Did you do a survey of the elderly so that you can more or less focus on, because I would imagine it's a broad
Yes.
sector and with some variability depending on which particular income group that they belong. So did you try to do a survey and focus on a particular problem? I would imagine this is more potential than really a problem that is now festering, seriously, that it needs urgent attention. I mean, can you give us an idea?
Yeah, because with the ADB staff, they would like to give a big picture across Asia. We didn't really have a new survey. What we did was we examined data on what's known as the demographic and health surveys that are done usually by countries that are supported by USAID at that time. So we wanted to look at even here in the Philippines, we have our own national demographic and health survey. So we wanted to use that information as well as surveys of countries, select countries, where they focus on poverty. For instance, we have our family income and expenditure survey. But I had some sense that maybe in Asia, the part of the issue is that the elderly may be living with their families. And because they're living with their families, the consumption and the income is shared within the family. So that's why they may not appear to be as poor as the average person.
Kasi ang measure usually is at the household level.
Exactly.
Not at the
Exactly. Because poverty, when you measure it, is usually you ask, okay, let's look at the household's income, total household income, and then you divide by per capita, you divide by the family size, and that becomes a weakness. It's not an individual poverty that's being measured, but it's a household poverty, and then you just try to say that if the entire household is poor, all the members are poor.
And why is that an important disaggregated data when it comes to the elderly or the senior?
Pag ganyan kasi parang invisible yung
Correct.
elderly.
Absolutely,
you
sir.
You don't see them.
Yeah, it's always easy to point out that, for instance, even as far as the needs of the elderly, they're sort of lumped into the household.
Yeah,
So and that becomes the issue, because maybe some elderly persons, they may have specific needs and not just them, but all the household members, they have varying needs. But when you aggregate them into a household, you miss them out.
Correct.
So this is why.
Plus we also think, yung ugali ng Pilipino,
Alagaan yung matatanda.
you can almost assume na hindi pa babayaan yung matatanda.
Absolutely, sir.
And that
Kaya
makes it more invisible as far as the state is
parang
concerned.
no need to worry about those.
Correct.
Yun na nga, sir.
That sector.
Yeah, exactly. So
Good
that's
point.
why we wanted to probe that maybe there may be certain elderly persons. So we wanted to look at the family composition, and then
Kaya kailangan talagang
mag-drill down ka kung baka yung elderly mag-isa lang siyang, or maybe living with the spouse, or living alone, or living nga with baka naman siya yung nag-aalaga sa lahat ng bata, yung different kinds of scenarios. I think we used a typology of the UNSCAP to be able to see the different patterns across household composition. And then we discovered, as I suspected, that the elderly who are living alone are very, very much poorer than the average elderly. Much poorer than the average elderly and the average person. They are among the poorest in the country.
Did you find out why?
Largely because when they're alone, usually what happens is that they may be drawing only from the pensions of their spouse. Maybe as a result, because if you're living alone, then you're not able to share with your needs.
But in terms of magnitude, in the urban areas,
Very few.
Not as big.
That numbers should be small kasi you try to maximize the
True.
living spaces, di ba? Yung,
Absolutely, sir.
Sabi nga nila, yung extended family system.
Yun na nga, sir.
Di ba?
So
Parang I cannot see somebody living by himself without relatives coming to share the space with him, di ba?
exactly. So because
Which
that's the
he
Filipino...
or she would welcome.
Yeah, that's the Filipino mentality that we tend to take care of our elders. But the only thing is, it seems to be a growing phenomenon across even many countries. We've noticed it na parang lumalaki yung grupo na ito. So, and this is why, again, this becomes a policy issue in the future. While it may not seem to be a very big problem today, In the future, it could be.
Think sabi mo before demographic dividend that we still have a window of opportunity
Yeah.
before this thing catches up with us. And your paper said 2050, 2060,
Yeah.
where the elderly spike is going to be more apparent.
Yes.
2066, 20%.
Yeah. Yun na nga. So that was the projection kasi of the UN that many countries, including the Philippines, right now our elderly is around maybe 10% or less, no? But by 2050 or so, we're heading there. We're going to be a much more aging society, and in which case the question is, will the elderly be protected? So will there be enough protection from their pensions? Especially now that even now, when you look at the pension system in the Philippines, SSS and GSIS combined, napakaliit, di ba?
I did the computation before, parang sa SSS 20,000 a month. Sa GSIS, if your income was about 60,000, about 45,000.
My pension with GSIS is 46,000.
Yeah, but GSIS is even better than S. Pero SSS is so bad.
So bad, yeah.
So,
Can you imagine, sir, you are a former secretary, ano pa kaya yung mga di ba?
True.
Lowly government servants, di ba?
True.
And then worse in the people in the informal sector, yung mga hindi pa nagbabayad. Kasi yesterday we just had a meeting with SSS about some topic, no, sa DSWD, and we were already saying iba-iba pala yung typology ng pagbabayad, no? Merong tinatawag na employed, self-employed, tapos may voluntary. Yung mga voluntary yung medyo hindi sila, yung maybe they're already on the verge of retirement, that's why nagbabayad sila. Pero pag nakita mo rin, ang liit nasa 40 million lang yata total nila halos na out of a big labor force, no? It's not maliit yung coverage.
so parang yung yung one would be the pension that people who work both the private and public sector. We're on the 46 of 48. Your paper said of globally of the pension systems, we're at the bottom.
Absolutely. Kasi nga, we haven't pushed enough. In fact, I was also wondering why SSS, pati addresses pala ng mga current members, hindi updated. You can just imagine that, why isn't it updated? There should be a need for better database systems, because if nagkakaroon ng emergency like now, the government has declared an energy emergency. So all the more reason that we must be able to reach out to those people who are in need of most assistance. And the elderly who are living alone particularly, we need to find them, no? We need to know where they are, so immediately help them because they're the most vulnerable.
Ito yung sinasabi mo kanina na because nga the elderly live with their family, even if they receive a very small pension on a monthly basis, it gets hidden because the household income covers for that gap.
Exactly. So, yun yung nangyayari for most families.
Akala ko
because-
panigarilyo na lang yung nakukuha nila kasi meron naman sila sa mga anak, di ba?
Oo. Pero kasi siguro nga dahil yung children will always try their best to help their parents. So yun yung nagiging storya. So that's why whatever needs ng elderly na somehow na-address. But it doesn't mean this will happen in the future.
Yeah,
No?
if with an aging population, with more people reaching the age of retirement, then that particular phenomenon we have right now might not hold true anymore.
Plus, you have to remember there are competing needs. For example, yung mga stunting, that's about 20 to 25%
It's
of
30% pa nga.
children below 5 years old.
Yes, sir.
And then you have the first 1,000
Days, yes.
days kids, di ba?
Yes,
Na kailangan mo rin. And then you have the school age children.
Yeah.
90% of those who are 10 years old and below cannot read.
Yes.
They're
absolutely.
functionally illiterate. I
Illiteracy,
saw nga the recent report of EDCOM. As you go through the basic education ladder, you get more functionally illiterate
Balik.
as you go through.
Yun nga, sir. Kasi
These are the
maraming...
things that, and here you're talking about millions.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, kung kunyari nasa budget hearing ka na ng Congress, biglang nakita mo milyon-milyon tapos yung elderly daan libo lang, baka hindi pansinin.
Hindi pansinin.
Yun yung difficulty nga, sir.
Di ba?
True. You're correct.
Absolutely, sir. Kasi ang naging problema sa our social protection system has always been in a way focused on the poor, no? Kaya lang pag sinabi mong poor, yun yung na-identify sa listahanan more than a decade ago, and then na-update natin ng konti. Pero supposedly the country is becoming wealthier because we're already approaching an upper middle income status very soon. How soon?
You're assuming the equity problem is not that bad.
Well, that's the point, sir. Kasi parang nangyayari, we're going to hit upper middle income, but it doesn't mean that things are equitable. In fact, we will probably be among the poorest among the upper middle income countries.
That's true.
And the question now is, what do we do how do we increase coverage for social protection given that we have fiscal constraints, the space is not very very big, and then you have also a big debt, so ang daming problema. Whoever is next president will have to deal with all of this, and the succeeding presidents.
Kasi we talked about pension, clearly that's not enough. The other one that your paper talk about is the informal sector. Wala talagang...
Practically. Ayun nga yung problema. Let's say, suppose SSS now wants to give back to its members. Even the informal sector, where are they?
Correct.
Are they voluntary, members, or are they part of the self-employed? But what are the mechanisms by which they pay even sa pension nila, no?
Wala, di ba?
Meron supposedly.
Meron?
Pero I mean, may mechanisms for them to do that, pero it's voluntary. It's not like kunwari, karinderya store ka, owner, no? And
yung
then,
card ni Aris Alip, I think, tries to do that.
yun na nga. So there might be ways for us, supposedly some mechanisms, but I think the government can do a little bit more to sort of reach out to the informal sector. Kasi yun yung nagiging concern. Even now, we have digital economy. So may iba dyan, nagbebenta sa Facebook, nagbebenta sa Instagram. Hindi natin nahuhuli to eh. So that's why all the more reason for government to reach out more and to have a way of ensuring na pagtanda nyo, meron kayong some kind of security, because supposedly government also tops up a little bit of that and tries to invest some of that.
Ang isa kasing problema sa gobyerno, maski na may pera, it's the delivery system.
It's also true.
Yung ano nga dito, industry leader, kumbaga yung 4Ps . Pero kasi yung 4Ps is preceded by a survey. So alam mo talaga, you're talking about real names, addresses, and family profiles .
Absolutely, sir.
Kasi hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin na, paano mo malalaman kung yung anak, 85% of the time, pumapasok, kung hindi ganun kadetalye yung survey mo, o kaya the same percentage of time the children who are not in school are being brought to the daycare for weighing and vaccine. Kaya kung ganun kadetalye yung objective ng programa, kailangan mo talagang mag-survey para alamin mo
Sino sila?
pag sinabi mong mahirap, sino ba yung mahirap? Kasi one time, nung secretary pa ako, I went to the Department of Agriculture.
Yes, sir.
So I asked them, sinong priority nyo? Sabi nila, small farmer.
Nasa listahan.
Small farmer. Meron ba kayong listahan ng small farmer? Saan sila?
Wala.
Wala nga silang, sabi ko, wala kayong ginagawa dyan. I had to spend about a little over 3 billion pesos to do a survey of Filipino small farmers. Tapos lumalabas na ang pinakamahirap palang magsasaka, yung coconut farmers, tsaka small fisher folks. Pero ang mahigit kalahati ng budget ng DA nasa rice and corn farmers.
Ah, wow.
Yan na nga, sir. Kaya yun yung
Di
naging
ba?
problema.
Kung wala ang survey, hindi mo malalaman eh.
Yeah.
Kaya you have to establish first what's your baseline.
Yun na nga, sir. Data systems are really very important and those data systems have to be regularly updated.
Updated, that's correct.
Kung hindi natin nakikita...
Para targeted yung
Absolutely,
kung
sir.
meron kang subsidy or assistance. Hindi katulad do ayuda na napunta lahat sa isabong yung...
Pero shouldn't the LGUs be the one at the forefront of all? Like, they should know who these people are at their level.
Yeah, we alam mo, nung panahon natin, we tried to do that. Kaya lang, you have to use a reliable survey
Instrument.
system. Kasi pumapasok yung bias doon. Political, economic.
Patronage.
Oo, lalong masama kasi yung survey mo is tilted towards
Your
a
allies.
particular income group or political group eh.
At saka,
Kaya
sir,
yung PSA, yung...
Oo nga, pero yun nga, sir, and yun naman nagiging problema kasi natin. On one hand, the LGUs need those data systems. Kaya lang, hindi lang po yung bias, pero yung capacity rin kasi
Wala rin, oo.
ng mga LGUs. They may want to do something, but they for you to have that professional competence kasi kailangan natin-train ka how
Saka
to...
hindi, after a while, hindi comparable.
Yun pa, isa pa, sir.
Di ba?
Sabihin
Between
natin,
LGUs, di mo
sabihin
pwedeng
natin
ikumpara.
one LGU says, tignan natin yung employment status nung October, tapos another LGU does it September, or another does it March.
Hindi
Hindi comparable.
Hindi comparable eh. Oo. But that's
other-
really a basic information that you have to have so that you can target the intervention well.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing is, in an age of ICT, akala mo,
Madali na yan.
ang dali-dali na yan. Tsaka ano, pero kailangan kasi nag-i-invest po tayo. Kaya lang, parang in a way, doon nagkakaroon ng difficulty. Even the LGUs do not want to spend money on data. They would rather do it, yung bara-bara system. And then, part of it is because patronage na sinong kaibigan nila, na nabibigyan nila. Pero, the other thing too is, kasi yung data twofold yan eh. Kapag nandyan na yung datos, hindi mo na yun masasabing mali yan kasi nandyan na eh.
So actually, ang importante muna dito is finding out what's happening and before you can do the design for
At the granular
intervention.
level.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So ngayon, sir, the PSA is also doing what's known as community-based monitoring system, yung CBMS, which is kaya in DSWD hindi na siya gumagawa ng listahanan on its own, no? So they now rely on the CBMS kakagawa lang.
Does that capture the elderly as well?
Supposedly kasama yan lahat, parang kasi full census ginagawa ng assuming na papayagan sila kasi yung PSA, as far as I understand, gumawa ng census just nung 2025 tapos in-extend nila, tinanong nila pwede bang magtanong pa ng extra at ibibigay namin sa iba pang ahensya ito. So by ahensya they meant DSWD and LGUs. So ngayon I think na-share na to sa LGUs. Yung sa meeting namin kahapon, yun ang sabi ng PSA, na-share na daw ito. Pero, ang problema mo, kailangan dynamic yan. So, kung yan ay static, tapos gagawin mo 3 years later, anong mangyayari between now and 3 years later?
Pero maganda talaga yung intervention through the family. Pero kailangan mo lang ng talagang indicators eh. Where you can measure. Kasi halimbawa, you want to help the kids in school tsaka yung kids who are not yet in school. You can also include, the parents who are now no longer working.
True.
But a separate measure. Kasi ang isang napapansin kong problema ng gobyerno parate is how to deliver the service eh. Kung marami kang delivery system, magastos administratively. Pero kung meron ka ng proven system, halimbawa yung 4Ps, na natutulungan mo yung sanggol, natutulungan mo yung school-age kids,
Isabay mo na doon.
isabay mo na doon.
That's a good.
Di ba?
Yun
Isabay
lang,
mo na
ang
doon.
problema lang doon sa 4P, sir, is ina-assume nyo na may pamilya, may bata, paano kung matatanda lang? Hindi siya captured. Well, captured
Hindi,
sa listahanan,
but
pero the 4P's delivery system works.
Oo.
It definitely works.
It's something to look at.
Yes, sir. Yun nga in terms of experience. Ang nagiging issue in addition to that is eto ngayon naririnig natin maraming nagagalit na middle class na parati namang 4-piece ang tinutulungan. Kami hindi kami natutulungan. Yung mga ganito ganyan, may mahinaing yung middle class. Ang problema natin wala naman tayong listahan ng middle class. 'Di ba? Wala kasi well, the CBMS could be a way. Kaya lang even finding them dapat talaga kasi ang gobyerno may nagsabi sa akin na which is probably partly true, no? Ang gobyerno sanay siya na pakabig yung pera, no, because of taxes papunta sa kanya. Ngayon kung nagkakaroon ng crisis, pabalik dapat, pero nagkakaroon ng problema in the delivery system unless it's working like the 4Ps. Pero like nung ayuda, they were trying to target 18 million families.
Ay, naku.
4 million lang yung 4Ps. 4 million yung SOCPEN, social pension for elderly. So, kailangan pa nila ng another 10 million. Saan mo kukunin? No?
Dinaan nga nila yun sa mga barangay captain.
Exactly,
lalo na
sir.
wala.
Yun na nga. So, yun yung naging problema because...
Alam mo, at the time ng panahon ni President Duterte, about 60% nung tulong sa ayuda, hindi nakababa eh. Kasi natakot si Secretary Dominguez, mawala yun na wala namang makikitang
So,
nangyari.
The other one in your paper is
Delivery and targeting.
the other one in your paper that and those was in the, is healthcare, where it's the older you get, the more vulnerable you are.
Tama.
to health conditions. Can you that? What?
Well, supposedly now that we are increasing coverage of PhilHealth, talagang gagawing universal. In fact, supposedly, ang naging problema lang is, pag pumunta ka, kunwari ako, nagkasakit ako, nagka-cancer, which nangyari talaga sa akin, colorectal cancer, second time. Ang hirap kang tulungan ng gobyerno dahil sabihin, wala kasi sa listahan namin, di ba? Yung gano'n. Kung magbibigay man sila, discounted na 50,000, Diyos ko, parang katiting million ang gagastusin mo, parang mabawipe out lahat ng savings mo, no? Kung ikaw ay nasa middle class.
You're one catastrophic disease away from poverty.
Exactly.
Oo.
That's really true for all of us.
True.
And the nagiging
Lalo
problema...
na yung marami yung just above the poverty line.
Exactly, sir. Exactly, sir. Yun
Isang atake lang yun.
Oo. Talagang wiped out yun. Catastrophic yun in terms of gastos, no? Na hindi ka na makaka-recover nun. Maraming nangyayaring gano'n. Naririnig mo na minsan mga kaibigan mo, kapamilya mo, kaopisina mo. Unfortunately, we're not yet in a rich country, lahat pag di ba sa US pag nagkasakit ka automatic wala ka nang babayaran no? Yung pinsan ko tourist lang siya basta sinabi niyang I cannot pay for this automatic hindi siya pinagbayad pero dito siguro baka mamatay ka pa sa pag nakita mo yung bill sa ospital di ba
And especially the older you get, the more vulnerable you are to all of those catastrophic diseases.
Absolutely. Yun yung naging problema with cancer, everything, all the diseases, generally, as you age, mas nagiging vulnerable. Kung yung question dyan, nagiging vulnerable ka, meron ka bang protection para sa mga risks na gano'n? Unfortunately, mahina tayo kasi ang savings rate natin mahina, tapos hindi pa tayo nagbibigay sa SSS at GSIS, lalo pa, no?
And which also means, yung parang the older our population gets, this becomes more and more pronounced in terms of the ability of the healthcare system to take care of the elderly.
Absolutely. Kaya ang dapat siguro nating pansinin, kasi right now, even sa pension system, medyo unfair yung pension system. Sa military, parang lahat kargado eh. So dapat yan ang isa sa
contribute
mga...
to GSIS, but we pay for their pension.
Yeah.
Talaga.
And their pension is indexed to salary
increases. Exactly.
Tapos pag 56 ka, may pension ka, once you hit, I think, 60, meron ka na naman
may
once
golden
you hit
na
80,
naman.
meron na naman. Pag nasugatan ka sa giyera,
Yun na nga, sir.
kaya may mga they have more than 2, 3,
Kaya nga,
4.
to favored yung pension system sa military. I think that's one of the things that we have
Uniform
to control.
personnel.
Uniform
Pati
personnel.
police.
Yeah, exactly, sir.
Pati mga justices of the,
exactly,
of the
yun pa isa pa.
judiciary.
Yun nga, exactly. So dapat, yun ang dapat
Hindi
natin
nagbabayad
i-reform.
ng GSIS yun.
I-reform natin para that way, masuportahan natin yung elderly population talaga, yung mas nakararami. Kaya lang nangyayari, may resistance because, di ba, konting ano lang, nagagalit yung retired military. Bakit ganito ganyan? Naiingay sila, magkukuna naman daw sila na naman. Yun yung naging problema because they're so entitled.
Ang ginagawa nga namin, sige, yung nandyan huwag na natin galawin.
No, but there
Patapusin
might be
na natin yun.
Oo, but there
Yung
might-
bago.
Kaso hindi pa rin nababago hanggang ngayon, sir, di ba? Lahat ng politiko takot rin na nagalawin to. So you need a real reform in the pension system, the uniformed uniformed personnel pension system. Tapos lahat ng maging savings doon, yun ang dapat mo sanang i-distribute so that you can then protect the bigger population.
Pero what instrument would that ano gagamitin doon in terms of giving better protection to practically everyone? Kasi kung hindi pension, parang ang ano ba ngayon, SSJ, may government counterpart ba? Or much of what
Yeah.
meron?
Merong government counterpart yung pension. Kaya lang most
Maliit.
people, maybe sa ating Pilipino, maybe the future we never think about. Yun yung naging main problem natin. Mahilig tayong magtingin lang sa ngayon rather than kinabukasan because we always think, ay bukas ba yan? Saka na lang natin isipin. Pero yung bukas na yan, dadating yan. So yun yung dapat natin gawin na maging handa tayo sa mga magiging problema natin sa hinaharap.
So at
Ang katulong dapat niyan, yung PhilHealth If you get sick. Kaya nga, hindi lang yung salaried personnel, kundi yung mga indigents, meron yung tinatawag na informal premium. Pero actually, subsidy ng gobyerno yon. So government pays for the premium of the indigent so they can qualify for PhilHealth. Parang gano'n.
But for those of us who are not indigents,
Then
we still do out of pocket. Parang how do we improve the system so that we practically don't need to pay?
Well, in theory, they're actually working on it now, but it takes a while because the system, we have archaic systems and it does not change overnight. Pero ang dinig ko, meron din kaming kasama dito sa PIDS who's actually working with PhilHealth to start using the model in Thailand. Na unti-unti, hindi nga magagawa overnight, but they're working on it so that eventually hindi na talaga dapat nagbabayad tayo pag nagkakasakit. Kaya lang naging problema kasi dito is finding out ano ba yung mga costs, hindi lang by the way sa sa ospital. Cost pa yung bayad sa doktor. Naku, mas malaking sakit ng ulo yan. Dahil wala tayong listahan kung magkano ang binabayad sa mga doktor. Lahat ng doktor ayaw nilang sabihin kung magkano ang binabayad sa kanila. Siguro for income tax purposes. Diba?
At di naman dinideclare kasi hindi mo na humingi ng resibo.
Exactly. Yun yung mga under the table na wala tayong datos doon. At yun na naman ang dapat namin isang bigyan ng pansin.
The other one that I found interesting when I read your paper is the ability or the willingness of the elderly while they're young to secure assets. Na parang if you have an asset, theoretically, when you grow old, you can liquidate it and that becomes part of your what is that?
Well, kasi nga, especially during shocks, pag nagkasakit ka, no, kailangan mong ibenta o isanla yung cellphone mo, ganyan, no, whatever, TV, marami tayong assets sana na build over across time, no. Kaya lang, sa ngayon, mukhang even, yun nga, depende sa elderly. May mga mayayamang elderly talagang maraming assets. Pero meron namang ibang elderly na talagang wala kasi hindi sila, part of it is because ang feeling ko because of that concept of the future na wala yun sa mindset ng mga tao kaya dito tayo nagkakaroon ng problema in the end. I always say that we are where we are because of sins of the past. So kung hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng mga opportunities to save up, to start building your assets for the future, when the future comes and you're in trouble, talaga mahirap.
But I think we really have to lay out the terrain para we get an idea of what specifically is the problem and what is the potential of this problem, considering that we're slowly headed towards becoming, along with many countries in Asia, an aging population. Because really, this is I'm sure the magnitude is not that huge.
Yet.
Right now.
Yeah, but what is there already gives you an indication of
Correct.
what to expect in the future.
Absolutely, sir.
So that knowing that you can already prepare
Correct.
for address the situation now so that it will not get worse, so
Worse.
that in the future, like many problems we had, we are in no position to deal with them.
Right. Parang I think what your paper also said is exactly that, na while there's this window of opportunity, while it's not as bad as other countries who have aging population,
Let's not squander it.
that's the term that you use. Let's not squander it.
Absolutely. Kasi nga, everything, whenever there's an opportunity, the only question is, are you going to make use of that opportunity? And most of the time, in the past, we've never done it because laging sasabihin natin, hindi pa na natin problema yan. Parang laging, bukas na lang, makalawa na lang. We're always putting off what could be done today. Yun yung nagiging difficulty with reforms, because we already know, actually we know many of the problems. The solutions have been laid out, but we don't have the enough courage to accept the solutions, and because of maybe we're risk averse, maybe we keep thinking, hindi pa naman, masyadong magulo yan, wag muna nating kasi hindi pa naman natin problema yan. Yun yung mindset na we have to get out of. So reforms will work if we change our mindsets, if we make sure that we understand that the problems will not just disappear.
So, pero
the digital world, particularly AI, is now upon us.
True.
And the definition of working age has changed.
True.
So, maski na 70 ka ngayon, makakapagtrabaho ka eh.
Yun
na nga, sir.
So
even
that means,
in the US, they actually don't have a retirement age in the US
Anymore.
because they say, it's discriminatory because some people can work till they're 100 years old, no?
Exactly. Tsaka at a certain age, I sent you another document about, you gain wisdom, you gain experience, which young people don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's valued now. Kasi ngayon, pag digital, pag AI, of course, yung mga mechanical work, yung pag-accountant, lawyering, pwede yan gawin na lang
ng AI.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly.
Pero wisdom is something else,
exactly.
Empathy is something else, which, more senior people are in a better position to understand and to utilize for helping people. Yun ang hinahanap eh.
True. Balik ako lang sa mo, yung about knowing the terrain, parang as far as the elderly and the senior citizens are concerned.
Kasi may gradations din yan
Parang,
Di ba?
Parang just to give, hopefully some of our listeners are in the policy level, parang is really being able to know who these people are.
Yeah.
And find where they are. Kasi ngayon, the methodology was really the existing surveys, and you based on that you did your analysis.
Yeah.
But none of the surveys right now actually try to look for them.
Absolutely. That's why importante yung tinatawag na disaggregated data. Kasi right now, when you say
yan.
elderly, parang akala mo, ganun lang, yung isang storya base sa isang numero. When actually, may range yan. Kasi may mga medyo...
Meron ka 3 categories
Absolutely. So, yun yung magiging challenge ngayon. So, trying to find out, baka sa babae, na elderly living alone, lalaking living alone, iba rin yung storya. So, yun yung mga dapat sanang pinapakita ng mga statistika. Kaya lang, unfortunately, siguro yung mga nawawala nga sa nagiging invisible yung mga tao sa statistics because of aggregates.
Oo. Tsaka yung rural-urban disparity in lifestyle. Dito talaga pwede ka mapag-iwanan or mawala dito sa urban Dahil lahat busy. Pero sa rural, medyo
may
value
maasahan
system
ka.
mo, meron kapag kapitbahay talaga na...
The other one that I found interesting, their term is the older old, where 80 and above
Kasi yun, kumbaga really much elderly, the risks are higher for health problems, no? So kaya yun yung punto about even trying to find also if we're going to help, kung sino uunahin, unahin mo na yung talagang very vulnerable group. So part of it is age, very elderly olds, or maybe yun nga sinasabi ko, living alone, no? That might be a way for us to be able to help immediately dahil hindi naman sila ganun karami.
Oo, sa totoo lang.
Okay.
So kung tutuusin mo, mas madaling mabigyan ng atensyon sila kaysa sa yung nakakarami. So hindi magiging budget-wise, hindi magiging problema. Pero yun lang, for you to do that, you also need to reallocate resources from other things, no? Yun yung next question. Gusto ba nating gawin yon? Kasi may magrereklamo naman pag nag-realign ka ng budget, di ba?
Oh. Pero with all of these billions of billions that has gone to corruption, parang...
Yeah, I know. Kaya nga most of the time, pag naririnig mo yung galit sa social media, maintindihan mo rin na bakit nagagalit talaga yung mga tao na ang laki-laki ng mga nagiging ninanakaw sa gobyerno, tapos ikaw nagbabayad ka ng buwis. Saan ba napupunta yung buwis mo na binabayad? So maintindihan mo yung galit, pero yun lang kasi yung system yung root nito. So kailangan baguhin natin yung sistema. Ang tanong, meron nga ba tayong courage to change the system?
Sige. I think we're more or less able to capture. And meron pa ba other parts of your paper that we have not touched on, something our listeners might be interested in?
Well, maybe just a little bit about even the ICT issue sa elderly siguro na mention rin namin na mas maliit yung access ng elderly ng IT and even ownership of ICT devices, partly because siguro natatakot yung elderly na to be able to learn something new, no? Na yung mga, kasi pag new technologies, medyo tatandaan ko, nanay ko pati TV set ayaw niyang buksan dahil natatakot pumindot pag dumating na lang ako sa bahay saka bubukas ng TV. Yun yung nagiging difficulty minsan, no? So siguro kailangan we have to pay more attention also to improving also the skills of our elderly, because pag natuto yan, parang yung auntie ko nung dati, ano lang siya, iPod, pagkaliit-liit, sabi ko sa kanya, auntie, nababasa mo ba yung iPod na yan? Sabi niya, ay, hindi nga, tinuruan ko siya, and then nung natuto, sabi niya, ay, ngayon lurker na lang ako sa Facebook, tinitignan ko yung mga ginagawa ng mga apo ko. Ba, imagine mo, nakuha niya yung term na lurking, no? Sabi ko, hindi ko tinuro sa kanya yan, pero natuto at nagustuhan, tapos nagpipicture siya sa garden niya, pinapakita niya sa ano. So, yun yung sanang dapat rin nating bigyan ng atensyon, no? Na ang elderly kailangan rin matuto ng digital skills.
Siguro ang critical, what should government pay attention to first?
I agree.
How critical is that? And what is the cost of inaction? Parang ganyan. Parang kailangan maintindihan mo muna kung ano yung problema, bakit problema, how serious it is.
And what would happen if government
At pag hindi mo ginawa hindi ka kumilos, anong mangyayari? Gaano kalaki ang ilalala niyan pag pinabayaan mo? Parang ganyan.
Sa akin,
I mean, I'm sure that really has to be based on data, di ba?
Absolutely, sir.
But what do you think?
Ang sa akin, sir, unti-unti talaga dapat ma-increase natin yung pension, pagandahin yung pension system. Yun yung pinaka-root niyan. So yung pension system will help us provide a way of giving them. Kasi unti-unti, ang mangyayari kasi nito, if the elderly slowly become less dependent on their families, they need something to rely on, no? So yan ang pinakauna. Kung hindi kasi nating ayusin tong pension system, unti-unti mag-chip away yung kung magkano ang pwedeng maging security ng elderly habang siya'y tumatanda, may mga nagsasabi nga baka maski ako pag nag-retire ako baka wala nang value yung aking pension, no. So yun yung dapat nating ayusin ngayon pa lang, kasi kung hindi natin ayusin at laging sabihin na lang natin ay pagpabukas na lalala ng lalala, at lahat tayo tumatanda. So kailangan natin talaga ng way to be able to become more resilient. So that's part of it. For me, that's the very first thing. The second thing is, habang kukunti pa lang yung mga may mga extremely vulnerable na certain persons na elderly living alone, elderly na medyo matanda na 80s, 90s, bigyan natin sila ng better support, you know, especially for PhilHealth, for instance, no? Nandiyan na rin lang sila na unahin, no? Kasi kasi minsan ang tendency natin sa gobyerno, one size fits all, no? So siguro dapat intindihin natin na yung needs, especially ng ganyan klaseng mga vulnerable, matugunan natin. Kasi kung hindi, tulad ng sabi ni Sec Butch, lalala at lalala ang sitwasyon, tapos wala tayong ibang masisisi kundi sarili natin dahil wala tayong ginawa.
Alam mo, Louie, sa Amerika, it's interesting eh. Hindi mo napapansin pag election, hindi nakakalimutan yung prescription drugs, Medicaid, Medicare, lahat yung mga tulong sa senior. Kasi sa Amerika, the percentage of senior people voting
Is high.
is very high.
Kaya
Sure, pag kinampanyahan mo yan at nakuha mo yung boto nila,
that makes sense.
malaking boto. Samantalang the young people, only 29% vote. Yung mga matatanda,
Ang mahilig bumoto.
talagang bumuboto yan. And because of that, they have become a power block. They have become a power block. So, every election, hindi nawawala yung issue na...
That's an interesting,
Yeah, kasi
perspective.
ito, this is naman, yung empowerment angle na even if you don't have government speaking for you, you are a political force to reckon with. So baka
That's interesting.
sa akin, kasi it works in the US eh.
You're correct.
At saka hindi sila ideological. Pag issue ng senior, whether you're Republican or Democrat,
That's true.
isa lang naman ang estado niyo sa buhay.
That's true.
Di ba?
Sir, I think medyo naiisip natin yan, pero more at the local level, kaya malakas din yung mga senior citizens, di ba, affairs offices sa LGUs.
Sa local, but
Sa national, medyo
in
hindi
terms of
kulang.
national policy,
Sir, kasi siguro dahil sa national, wala pang very strong lobby group na pupunta sa Kongreso at nakikidebate ng
For
mga
the senior.
elderly. Wala pang
Wala
gano'n.
nga. Wala
Hindi
pa.
katulad sa Amerika na merong mga gano'n.
pero you're right, locally,
Sa local, malakas.
lahat ng LGU, meron mga senior citizens, organization. Pero in terms of national policy, sa Amerika, malakas yan.
Tawag dito, yung sa Congress, yung representative na
Meron. Kaya lang, they're still marginal eh. Hindi dala yung the bulk of the senior citizens vote eh. Ganyan. Sa party list kasi dito,
Party list.
makakuha ka na ng 2 probinsya. Okay ka na. Okay ka na.
Ang laki na. Sir, siguro kaya nga ganun. Kaya maybe that's why the national politicians don't pay too much attention to the... Except for some laws here and there about elderly. Pero hindi kasing powerful nga sa lobby group sa Amerika.
Lalo na yung opioid crisis. Grabe. Ang daming namatay dyan. More than milyon ang namatay dyan.
Based on your own experience when you were in government, given this, what would be your first task or as a recommendation to government?
Lalo na kung ma-advise yung susunod na Pangulo, sir.
Hindi. First of all, you have to understand, may problema ba? Kung may problema, saan yung problema? And how critical is that problem? Is this a problem that's just emerging? Or is this a problem that's already festering? Di ba? Halimbawa, ang magiging kompetensya dyan eh. Alam mo yung mga stunted, halos kung walang intervention until they reach 5, that's a permanent disability already.
Absolutely.
Lalaki yan na nasa aruga ng gobyerno na yan eh. Kasi kung
Opo.
mahirap yung pamilya,
Hindi makakatapos, hindi makakapag-aral ng gusto.
hindi na niya maalagaan yan eh. So cargo na ng gobyerno yan hanggang mamatayan sa pagkatanda eh.
Yun ang nga,
So
sir.
that's one problem at it's a good example that we should look at kasi hindi dapat mangyari yan eh. Eh pag nangyari na yan, wala na. Hanggang tumanda na yan.
Yun na nga, sir.
Aalagaan mo na.
Kaya
Di ba?
dapat talaga yung concept of social protection, tinitignan yung life cycle. no? From mula nang sa kapanganakan hanggang sa pagkatanda. Kaya lang naging problema nga is siguro, ang daming problema. Minsan, siguro even government, people in government, mas nagpo-focus sa mga firefighting everyday kaysa yung mga long-term problems. Pero tulad ng sabi ko nga is, the future will come. It's not, the future does not come tomorrow, it starts today.
True.
Hindi po ba?
And yung ano mo, that's 30 years from now. That's the blink of an eye.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah. Hindi, tsaka pag, alam mo yung sakit, pag dumikit na sa katawan mo, wala na yan. Palala na lang ng palala yan.
Parang cancer yan na mahirap ng sugpuin.
Okay. Sige, I think we're good. Any last words from both of you in terms of, especially we might have people in government listening to us, or even among the elderly, anything that you want to leave with them?
Ako ultimately, what's the strategy of government in pursuing development? Kasi katulad nung panahon ni President Noynoy Aquino, ang sabi niya sa akin, Butch, alam mo, wala tayong pera pero marami nangangailangan. So, yung budget, itutok mo na yan sa social services at modernizing the agricultural sector dahil nandiyan ang karamihan na mahihirap eh. Tapos sabi niya kay Cesar Purisima, alam mo yung mga strategic high-impact infrastructure program, let PPPs, FDIs fund that eh. Kasi ang laki ng requirements. Alam naman natin na ang makikinabang dyan, yung mga lugar na
May kaya.
may kaya na, tsaka yung mga sektor na may kaya. Gawin natin, yung pera na dito sa atin, yun ang itutok natin dyan sa basic education, sa public health, yung nutrition and social welfare. Kasi yan ang kailangan talaga ng mga tao eh. So we really have to think about, more fundamentally,
That's a good point.
about this issue of, where do you direct development eh? Kasi considering na, as you kept saying, we have serious fiscal problems kasi hindi naman ganun kalaking pera natin. Tapos, hindi pa ginagamit sa tama. Kaya dapat talaga, yung responsibilidad ng gobyerno, pag-isipan niyang mabuti at saan niya itututok yung kakaunti na lang
Correct.
na pwedeng gamitin para makatulong sa
Correct.
taong bayan. We were able to bring down poverty incidence to about 16% eh. Bumalik na naman kasi sa maraming problema. But as we are doing that, then we can really afford to just focus on making sure that 16% goes to single digits. Kasi kung matulungan yung pamilya, yung mga elderly matutulungan eh.
din.
Matutulungan eh.
Tama.
Yeah, well, for me, three things. No? Three things come to mind. First, you cannot solve all problems. Second is that you need to start, following what Pinoy, the late Pinoy said, we have to invest in people. But the other thing too, because Sec Butch himself recognized that you need to understand what's happening, invest in data. Those three things for me. You cannot solve all the problems. You have to invest in people, invest in data.
Okay. Good. No, thank you very much, Toots and Sec Butch. Ano to, And we hope to be able to use this platform to pursue the other things that we've discussed here. Clearly, marami pang dapat pag-usapan. And I think one takeaway ko dun sa ano natin is that if we do not have the data, the elderly become invisible. And how can you help those who are invisible as far as the system?
If you don't even know they exist.
They don't even know they exist. So how can you even provide the intervention? So yun, I hope that this particular episode of ours is something that will reach policymakers and start conversations at all levels of government and even within our households and our communities. Kasi clearly, tama si Toots, parang tatanda tayong lahat.
That's for sure.
Oo, no one will escape that particular situation. And sabi nga, as the study had said, that the demographics might not be as apparent right now, but in 20 to 30 years, it's going to be much, much more difficult. So now is the time to do something about it. So again, thank you, Toots, Butch, and thank you to PIDS for hosting us. This is Senior Moments with Louie Montalvo, diving into the mysteries of the later years.